Hey, welcome back to another episode of Projecting Grandeur. I'm your host, Ron Dichter, and very excited. We have a really exciting guest who's got a very cool product that I am super excited to share with you all today. So please help me in Glenn Dickstein from Dual Bell. Glenn, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Ron. Great to be here.
It's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to have you here. So let's start out. For those of us out there that don't know what Dual Bell does, maybe just very high level, explain what the product does, and then I'll dive into kind of the how and why and all that stuff later. But just for context, what is it?
Sure. Very simply, it is a piece of equipment that allows you to connect your dumbbells onto a bar so you can use them as weight plates. It wraps around the handle of a dumbbell, and then there is an opening on the top that allows you to just slide it right onto a bar, same as you would on a barbell, and then excuse me, as a weight plate onto a bar, and then you just lock it on with standard collars, just as you would a weight plate.
Awesome. All right, so I got to know, like, what problem are you solving here? Like, what happened, that made you think this product needs to have a place in the world of fitness?
Sure. We looked at it a few ways. Well, actually, what happened was my son said to me one day, hey, Dad, wouldn't it be great if we could connect dumbbells to a bar? And we just had a rack of dumbbells in the house. And so I said, yeah, that'd be a great idea. Long story short, we worked on a concept of it and eventually prototyped it and tested it out. And I'm able to just do everything with it. I've done everything from military presses, bench presses, bicep curls, deadlifts, squats, you name it, you can do it.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, most people, when they think about something, they're trying to take an existing product and kind of tweak it to make it work. Like this is a whole new category. And like as I think about if this takes off, like because not everybody has like space for that. Like a whole Olympic plates. Like this is really interesting. Like how did you know that this was going to be a success, and what kind of testing did you have to do in the beginning to see if this was actually going to work?
Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, we did tackle it from the side of what if you're space challenged and what if you are, limited by budget. So those were the two big pieces of it, and we just came at it from that end of it, and until we came with the right combination of materials, and it just allowed us to attach it to the bar nice and cleanly.
Yeah. So was there a moment like I'm just picturing this conversation between you and your son, and he's like, "Dad, like I got these dumbbells, like I want to go do squats," and you're like trying to explain to him do dumbbell squats. He's like, "I don't want to do dumbbell squats. I want to attach them to a bar." Like, was there a moment in time when you realized like this is a thing? Like this isn't just a tool. Like this is a whole new way of thinking about setting up a home gym.
Yeah, while we were making changes to the product and cycling through the different iterations, that's when we really started to say to ourselves, this is real. This is really something that can help not just us, but anybody who's space challenged. And I live just outside of New York City, but did live in an apartment for a long time, and I know what it's like to be very limited on your space and still want to get a workout done. With Dual Bell, you can have your rack of dumbbells in the corner or a pair of adjustable dumbbells, and then you have Dual Bell in a bar. Maybe it's slid under your bed or a couch, and you just pull it out, and now you've got a whole setup where you can do everything you want to do.
Yeah. So when you went out into this, you didn't have a background in the fitness equipment space before this, did you?
Not in the fitness equipment space, but I've been involved in the gym industry, fitness industry for a couple of decades.
Oh, okay. So to create a new category like this, where there's probably an education component to your product, for people to understand it. But like, what does that take? Like to actually go out there and carve your own path, and you're not just saying, hey, do this thing that everybody knows how to do a little differently. Like, here's this whole new way of thinking about it. Like, what's it like to create a category?
It's a very visual way to show people how it works. Creating that category is just it's really about educating people. And so first thing I did, again, working in gyms for so long, I have a lot of connections with personal trainers. So I was taking the product with me to the gym. And as soon as they saw the Dual Bell wrap around the dumbbell handle and slide onto the bar, the two most common things I heard was, that's so simple, and I can't believe no one thought of it before.
Yeah, I love that. So you weren't even like trying to show people it. You were just literally going to the gym to do your own workouts, using your own product, waiting for people to come talk to you about it.
Oh, no, no, no. I was definitely bringing it there to show the trainers that I worked with, get some feedback. And, in my estimation, the best thing you could do is getting that professional feedback first.
Right.
And that's where, people said, wow, I can't believe no one thought of this before. And maybe they did, but, taking it to that next level of saying, hey, wow, this is really something that has some legs and we need to share it is that step that I think a lot of people don't take. I mean, there's certainly a big risk involved, and you need a lot of luck and a lot of sweat and just a lot of pushing to get something done. And you do need to learn a lot of different things. There's a lot of pieces that have to come together, whether it's the design, the manufacturing, and all the legal stuff. And you've got to hope that there's a market out there for it that wants to buy it as well. But
Yeah.
the main thing is it solves a problem for a lot of people who are stuck at home and very limited with space or budget and trying to make the most of a workout in their home space.
Yeah, that makes sense. What, as far as marketing goes, what's the hardest part about marketing this product? Where, obviously, if to your point, it didn't exist before, so nobody knew they didn't have it nor need it before you invented it. So, what's the hardest part about marketing to people who don't actually know they need this thing because they don't know it exists?
Well, it's educating people about what role it can have in home gym. So it's not just about marketing something that everybody knows how it works already, and they just see a new version of it, a new shiny new version of it. They're looking at something that ends up, um, for many people, solving a problem that they I don't want to say they didn't know they had, but they didn't realize that by having their existing set of dumbbells sitting in a corner that maybe they don't use as much as they want to, because they didn't know how much opportunity there was by using it, how much more versatile their dumbbells can be.
Yeah, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. I mean, obviously the problem clearly solves a real problem. Like that's obvious and out there. But do you ever get naysayers that are just they're used to the old way of putting a plate on, and like how do you overcome those naysayers that think that maybe this isn't going to work as well as, what I'm used to?
Right. First thing I say is I'm not anti-plate. I certainly have decades long use of weight plates, and I love them. But that's not always an opportunity for everyone who works out. Again, going back to the space and the budget piece of it. Or it's just that, hey, you already have the dumbbells and you just want to get more out of them. I mean, when you go to buy weight these days, it can be $2 to $3 a pound, especially we just went through COVID. It was definitely, $3 and sometimes north of $3 a pound. So it really adds up. And when you've got that weight already sitting in your home in the form of a dumbbell, and you realize, wow, I can add even more value to using my dumbbells and now turn them into weight plates. Um, you're just getting more value out of what you already have. And for some people, that's exactly what they want. And some people are just maybe exploring the idea of expanding a home gym, but they're not ready to commit to buying weight plates yet. So but they want to know if they're going to do barbell exercises at home. And so this sometimes can be a transitional piece of equipment for them until they do, get weight plates and do expand their gym. But they might, even with that mindset, decide, you know what, I'm good with this. So, you can put up to a 125-pound dumbbell in each dual bell. And the way we have the systems set up, you can put two dumbbells on each side of a bar. So you do have a maximum capacity of 500 pounds, assuming that the bar that you're using will also have, that weight limit. So, even if that's not where you're going to go, anybody is going to have plenty of room to grow using dual bell.
500 pounds, like you got out of my pay grade right out of the gate.
Right.
So I'm good with the single dumbbell on there. On this show, we talk a lot about the talk of projecting grandeur, which is really, telling the world who you are before, you've gotten permission to do it, or, you've kind of earned those stripes, so to speak, but you know in your heart that you've got something that the world has to know. Like, how do you think projecting grandeur has played a role in, the coming together of Dual Bell and getting to where you are today?
You just have to be positive about the product and knowing that it is solving a problem for a lot of people. I think when you're promoting the benefits of it, and people see those benefits, then they're going to say, well, how does that apply to me? And once they see the opportunity for them, then they sort of come along for the ride.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, and part of projecting grandeur is the long term, right? You're talking about the future, and sometimes you're referencing today. Like, as you think about the vision of Dual Bell and staying, true to the cause and what you're trying to solve, like, what are some of the things that you do in your own kind of daily basis, or even some of the mindsets that you have to think about as you're staying focused and really maniacal on that vision of what you hope Dual Bell to become?
So, it's probably as long as I'm home, I'm doing some sort of exercise every day. So Dual Bell is, in my hand at least for one exercise or one set every day. So the ideas are constantly, flowing. Where can we go, or how different, what can we do differently with it today? I can point to a time when I don't know, it was 4 o'clock in the morning when we were just developing it. It was very early, and I couldn't sleep, and I suddenly had this vision of putting, you know, uh, a tennis ball on one end of the bar and using the dual bells for landmine exercises. And I just had to run downstairs to the gym quietly so I didn't wake up anybody in the family. But it ended up testing dual bell to see, for different T-bar row and different kinds of rows and landmine exercises. So, always turning the ideas over in my head to just see how much more we can get out of the product. And I mean, that's the other piece of it. Right now you've got a rack of dumbbells at home that's now turned into, something you can use for bench press or all the other barbell moves. And then you turn it around and you can now use them for landmine exercises. So now you've just added another layer without adding a single weight plate and just this small piece of equipment.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that, using it for that. It's such a cool idea too. Well, what's next for Dual Bell? I mean, as you think about the legacy you hope to leave behind and the impact on the fitness industry, like what's coming? Like, where do you go from here?
Well, we've got another version that we have designs on, and it is a patented product, so we've got some things we can do with it within that. Yeah, I mean, I hope in the next year or so we can unveil that, and then there are other little attachments we could add on to it as well that we've kind of worked out. But you know, I think we've sold into 18 or 19 countries around the world, which is really really neat. Not huge, but definitely, places that, even if we've got one in there, it's pretty neat to know that we're dropping our dropping our breadcrumbs in different countries around the globe. And yeah, we'll just keep pushing that along and trying to build our audience on where we can and getting the product out there and help as many people as we're able to.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, as far as advice and things that you might be able to, we have a lot of viewers that, are entrepreneurs getting started or people that are changing careers and jumping into something new. As a guy who just pretty much carved his own path, created his own niche, and launched a product when nobody even knew that product was in demand, like, what advice would you give to somebody starting out, looking to do something maybe a little less conventional and kind of following in your footsteps about creating their own category?
I guess, involve, get feedback from other people to the extent that you can. I mean, at this point, when you've got something new that you're sharing, you probably want to keep it a bit quiet. So tell your, share the opportunity with some very close friends, family to get some feedback on it. You can, to the extent that you can use Chat GPT to help you with some of the concepts, maybe not the specific product concept, but some of the ways to get the tools and the resources that you need. That's something. I mean, just we didn't have that a few years ago when we really started, but I use it more and more now. And then yeah, I mean, just be ready to spend a lot of time with it. I mean, I think about it all the time, outside of family and, and friends and things like that. But it is constantly on your mind when you're running a business. It's not always work. It's a passion that is work, but it takes work. But it's not, you don't always think of it as like I'm working all the time trying to get something done, because you're really doing something for yourself that you have a strong passion for to make it successful.
It's amazing. I love it. Well, your story is really exciting. The product is super cool. I'm already in my head thinking of all the different places that I wish a dual bell existed, especially some of the hotels that I travel to that have dumbbells but no plates. But we can talk about that at another
Yeah.
time.
I definitely, I don't mean to cut you off there, but I do bring my dual bells and a bar in the car with me when I'm traveling, on the road.
Yeah, I can understand why. I'll put it all in the launch of this episode, so everyone can get a hold of you and find the product. But just for everyone's benefit that's listening that may not have time to click a link, where can they find Dual Bell, and where can they find more about the offerings?
Yeah, so you can go straight to dualbell.com. You can also find us on Amazon and Walmart. So we're pretty much everywhere. And you'll see some feedback from users, and they're loving it and finding it very helpful and useful for their workouts.
It's amazing. Well, Glenn, it's a really exciting product. It's been an honor spending some time with you today and sharing with our viewers. And thanks for your story. It's really kind of cool to see how you've carved out a new category. So thanks again. It's been a pleasure.
I appreciate that so much, Ron. It was a pleasure speaking with you as well.
All right. And everybody else, thanks for tuning in today. And remember, don't forget to like and comment and go follow Glenn. And most importantly, share this episode with your friends because sharing is caring. Have a great day, everyone.